Chapter 15, Into the Arena. It's the evening of the annual Vitality Gala, and the stakes of your outfit couldn't possibly be higher. Your team of stylists had just walked through the door, ready to make you fabulous. Hope you guys have brought something really show-stopping. This could be one of the biggest nights of my career. Of course, don't you worry. We'll have you whipped up in no time. Lovely. Let's see what you've got. But as they uncover outfit after outfit, each a bigger disappointment than last, your faith begins to fade. I've always dreamt of being catered to in this way, like every other Vitale has for every other gala. But all these clothes are just boring facsimiles of what I really need the look to say. Just as you're about to throw your hands in the air in frustration, George steps through the door. Oh my. Brought you a little something, boss. He gives you a flirtatious smile, stopping you in your tracks with his beauty. He truly is dressed for the occasion in a three-piece suit immaculately tailored for his frame. Then he pulls out the most stunning ornate gown, decadent, powerful. Your mouth nearly waters just looking at the carefully hand-beaded details. This one says it all. Showstopper. Let's go. Thank you, George. He smiles and hands you the outfit, and you rush to change. And from the moment you slip it on, the outfit screams CEO, fitting like a glove. Well, does it look as good as it feels? Better. Definitely better. No one's going to be able to ignore your star power in this. You and George set off together for the gala. Somehow it feels like you're heading towards something monumentous. You cast your mind back, remembering how far you've both come. Remember the first day we met? You were just a harried, eager assistant in my Vitality hallway. I certainly was, and now it feels like it's been forever. I've learned so much. You mean like how to negotiate me into helping your career? You raise your eyebrows at him and he grins mischievously. I'm honestly really proud of you. You've found so much confidence and strength, it's hard to believe you've come so far so quickly. Well, I had a wonderful teacher. And you taught me quite a few things too. I'd be happy to have you on my board as regional manager. Well, first you actually have to land the top job. Yes, I do. But you deserve it either way. And I'll advocate for you however I can, even if I don't make it. I hope you know that. He gives you a touched and grateful smile. Look at you, being so sweet and generous. I knew you were a softie at heart. Don't spread it around, okay? Would you? I have a reputation to maintain. You turn to him, feeling uncharacteristically nervous all of a sudden. Do you think I should have a shot? He opens his mouth to answer, but you cut him off. Be honest. Don't just say what you think I want to hear. I've always been honest with you, Cameron, so here it is. I think you should have a shot. You're the best chance Vitality has. But if you're asking me whether you'll be enough, only time can tell. The limo turns a corner, pulls up to the gala, but before you've even opened the door, you hear the screams of the crowd outside. It almost feels like I've gone back in time to the disastrous conference that changed my life. You grit your teeth, brace yourself for what you're about to face, and then fling open the door. But as you step out, the cameras clamor to get a picture of you. Over here, Miss Vitale, over here. Doesn't she look stunning? Can we get an over-the-shoulder, Cameron? You, smiling graciously, you indulge them, and they go into a frenzy of gleeful shouts and camera flashes. Always happy to be here. You notice George standing beside you, and on the spur of the moment, you decide to pull him in for a photo. Cameron, what? Pose with me. We should pose with our arms around each other. Let's give him something to swoon over. But isn't that a little unprofessional? You shrug and pull him closer, wrapping your arm around his waist as his cheeks suffuse with heat. After staring into his eyes for a beat, you turn and flash a smile at the cameras. What a gorgeous pair they make. Once they've snapped what you consider to be enough photographs, you and George hurry inside, heedless of the pointed questions they shout after you. As the Vitale brand promises the gala's stunning, decadent, and absolutely packed to the elite, almost immediately George's phone pings. I'm being summoned. Something about seating chart. Be right back. As he dashes off, getting lost in the crowd, you wade further in and see a familiar face waiting for you. Hey, you. Hey, Trey, you came. He smiles at your obvious joy before taking your hand in his. His eyes travel down your outfit, drinking you in. I did, and I'm so glad I didn't miss this. Look, Niall's been my baby for the past few years, you know that, but you've been my friend and sometimes more. For pretty much my whole life, with the notable exception of the last few weeks, but I'm willing to overlook that and stand at your side. If you promise to rein in your inner Theodore. I promise, Trey. In fact, I'll seal it with a kiss, just so you can remember this moment when I keep it. You lean forward, pressing a soft kiss to his lips. You feel him gasp against you, inhaling your scent, longing to pull you in closer. Then he backs away, seemingly remembering where you are. You're an awful tease, you know that? I'm glad we've got that established. A new sense of strength rises in you, and having the gang back together as you and Trey turn towards the rest of the crowd. Let the smoozing begin. Where should we begin first? You both scope out the room, trying to identify the best potential partygoer to shore up your resources, but before you've gotten far, your view is blocked by a mass of elaborately curled hair, stalking straight towards you. Don't think I don't see you trying to weasel your way into the top spot, you snake. I'm not. I'll be damned if I let you get it before I do. Well, Sabrina, there's no need for such undignified behavior. You're Vitale, after all. Do try to behave like one. Your cool, high, and mighty attitude seems to send Sabrina over the edge completely. How dare you? You think you're so much better than me now, do you? You're nothing but a worthless bastard. But she cuts herself off. Around her, a few heads are turning in the crowd, staring at her with haughty disgust. See you around. And with that, she disappears into the crowd, immediately plastering on her false-stitch smile and joining a conversation with a few of the managers. Wow, no one, not one to mess around, huh? Told you. Well then, let's get a move on too. How about we split up? We can cover more people that way. You nod, and he heads to the other side of the room, immediately pulling a stray board member into a conversation with a silky smile. You stare out into the gala, identifying some familiar faces, but who should you speak to first? Alright, let's begin with press reporter. Kyrie stands off to the side, his wide eyes quick and observant. When you walk over, he turns to you with an oily smile. Kyrie, lovely seeing you here again. The last we spoke was the governor's ball, I believe? His smile shakes slightly, but still holds. Yes, lovely event. Nothing on tonight, of course. Of course, Vitality certainly knows how to put on a party, wouldn't you agree? Certainly. I can see the headlines now. And how do I come out in these headlines? Oh, reasonably well, of course. Just reasonably? Wouldn't want to be obvious, would we? Defeats the purpose. You grit your teeth, all press, as you've realized recently isn't always good press. I need to make sure he's got no confusion in the question of who he's supporting. I should win him over with sweet talk. I trust you completely. You're the best in the game, after all. I hope you know how much I appreciate your support. His smile widens, he smooths down the front of his coat, clearly rather flattered at being so obviously ass-kissed by someone as important as you. Just doing my job, you know? Of course, as we all are. Speaking of which, if I did get the CEO job, I would of course be willing to grant you my first exclusive interview. Inner workings, the company views of the business world, sordid family secrets. Oh, really? All that good stuff. Only if you wanted it, of course. Oh, yes, I think we might be able to make room for it. Assuming you get the position, of course, but I'd say that's fairly likely. Particularly with my support. I am, as you say, the best in the game. You tip your chin to him, and he turns back to the crowd, his smile never dimming. Let's go with regional manager. Gloria seems more interested in the buffet table than you, but you walk over anyway. Evening, Gloria. You look lovely. She nods absentmindedly, still eyeing the drinks. Champagne... Strawberry champagne. That sounds nice. Never tried that before. May I fetch you a glass? You snatch one of the elegant flutes from the champagne tower and shove it in her hands, finally getting her to look at you. How are things? Oh, after the product launch disaster, we had to kick things up a notch. Now that the dust is settled, we're making steady progress. Or we were until the strike. Yes, most unfortunate. If the company's problems had been addressed weeks ago, as I'd suggested, perhaps it would have turned out differently. Perhaps. You wave your hand to gesture at the party, trying to change the subject. What are your thoughts on this gala? Do you think perhaps we might get a clear picture of Vitality's future tonight? I bet you'd like that. Are you really so convinced the future has a place for you? I think we should all be asking ourselves that question tonight. She raises her eyebrows at you, sipping her champagne coolly. After all, I've always felt I do best by our managers. You might be on thin ice, you and I have a real bond. I do best. My family seems to think it's all about who's on top, but I know that any good company is built by 8 good managers. She gives you a warm, surprised smile. Absolutely, I've been trying to tell your father that for years. I personally would ensure that managers are given what they need in terms of resources and support. It's the only way Vitality can reach new heights. She looks at you with new eyes, entirely nodding her approval. I hope to see it reach those heights as well, Cameron. You certainly have me behind you. And with that, she returns her attention to the spread of desserts, and you move on to the rest of the party. I'm gonna go with James. I have a sneaking suspicion. James is in conversation with a familiar-looking young associate, or something like a conversation. His partner seems to be doing all the talking, while he just grunts occasionally. Evening, James. So glad I ran into you. Hello, Cameron. We were just... You stare down the kid, whom you finally recognize as Errol Conajoe's son, wordlessly until he gets the hint. With a sheepish nod at James, he shuffles away. Impressive. You look into his opaque eyes, wondering whether he means it. It's good to see you here tonight. You've been such a support for so many decades. Vitality's lucky to have you. It is. There's a moment of silence, and you decide to soldier on. I was wondering where you see the future of the company headed as an authority on the subject. Are you hoping I'll pledge you my allegiance like the damn national flag, is that it? I only mean that Vitality must have plans for the next chapter, and as Vitality founder, you must. I'm getting really tired of being told what I must do. I didn't mean... my no-good kid's been tagging after you again, I see. Is this what he's been doing, flitting from big shot to big shot, your dirty work? It's not. I've told him 100 times not to throw everything out the window by letting another worthless Vitale use him like a pet monkey. I'm not using him. I care about him, and he cares about me. James snorts so loudly that nearby guests start to alarm. Yeah, very touching. You want to be CEO, kid? Then here's some real advice. Don't care about anyone. Don't be stupid enough to think they care about you. James takes a breath as if to steady himself. Excuse me, Miss Vitale. Business to attend to. With that ominous predicament, James turns away from you, muttering darkly under his breath. What the hell was that about? But you've no more time to devote to the mystery. There's plenty more targets you have to socialize before the party ends. Abruptly, all conversation is cut off. And a power outage plunges the gala and its guests into a pitch darkness. What's going on? And a moment later, another question is answered. The large, top-of-the-line AV system with a screen bigger than your mattress suddenly flickers to life, as though it's been hacked. The crowd gasps in unison. This cannot be good. Each of Vitale's CEO candidates aren't just horrible. Terrible choices for the job. They're terrible people. Let's start with Dante Vitale, a well-dressed delinquent who treats his staff like dirt on the bottom of his designer shoes. Well, that's certainly accurate. Wait, I have to stop this before they get to me. But how to find out who's running it? George rushes to you, eyes wide. I talked to Ted, the IT manager. He's found the weak spot. It's your dad. He's been on all sorts of sites he shouldn't be, and it let in a virus. Of course it is. Can we fix it? He says he thinks he can save the day. Great. But for the low price of you saving a dance for him tonight. You fight the urge to laugh and groan all at once. Let's move on to the other famous Vitality children, or should I say bastards. Fine, offered Ted a dance. Lord. Alright, tell him I promise him a dance. Ted steps out of the nearby crowd, jaunty and grinning, having heard every word. Deepest thanks, Miss Vitale. You don't know what a dance with you could do for my reputation. Yeah, I'm sure this is all about your reputation, Ted. Now let's get to fixing, shall we? He whips out his laptop, gets to work logging onto your father's desktop remotely. Alright, I see. Out loud, Ted. Think out loud. Viruses and encrypted files saved on Mr. Vitale's desktop under the name Important Stuff. You snort as he describes it with a few moments of speedy typing. That should do it. Here's the file inside. The DNA test for Sabrina. What the hell? He hands you the laptop and examines it closely, reading through the data. This is insane. Sabrina is the result of Elizabeth's affair. She's not Theo's child at all. What? You're both stunned into silence, but as you finally pick your jaws up off the floor, you realize the hull has gone silent, the lights above it have returned, and the video, it seems, has just been stopped just in time. Yay, Ted's a friend, woot. You heave a sigh of relief when an odd, muffled yelling from backstage catches your attention. What is that? You follow the source of the noise, only to find a tense standoff awaiting you. Sabrina, a face of mask of rage, nostrils flared, mouth wide open, is screaming at your father at the top of her lungs. You don't make the decisions around here anymore, old man. Get that through your thick skull. Enough of this nonsense. I don't want to hear another word. Whoa, what is going on? They barely offer you a sideways glance before turning back to each other. I'm running out of patience. You better make me CEO or I'll be forced to act on my plan. Sabrina. Oh my god, I just noticed that off. I don't know. Let me know if there was any issues. I'll have to proofread this myself, but I'm just gonna go ahead and print it. Like I said, just like, share, and subscribe. Catch y'all later. Peace out.